This is problem 4.4 from Chapter 4, Brigham and Houston, Fundamentals of Financial Management, Concise 9th edition. And we're being asked to calculate what will happen if this company makes some changes to its capital structure, what will happen to its return on equity. All right. So ROE last year was 5%, but management's got a new plan. And the new plan calls for a debt-to-capital ratio of 40%, and that's liabilities over assets and it's liabilities over assets or debt ratio simply because the convoluted language in the 9th edition of Brigham, the plan doesn't use any preferred stock and total assets equal invested capital. So debt to capital is actually technically the interest-bearing debt over the interest-bearing debt plus equity, but they simplify that throughout the problem by telling you total assets equal total invested capital. Okay? And there's only one type of liability, and that would be invested in the interest-bearing debt. All right. Moving on, we got an EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes, $1,258,000, and sales of $17 million, and we have a total asset turnover 2.1, and that is sales per dollar of assets. Okay, so I know what sales are. I can actually calculate assets. There's $2.1 of sales for every $1 of assets. Then total assets must be $808,095,238. All right, I got a tax rate of 35%. And from here, I can look up here in my debt to capital ratio. Liabilities are 40% of assets, so the liabilities for the interest-bearing debt in this case is total assets times 0.4. If that's the interest-bearing part, or if that's the liabilities part, then the equity part would be the other 60%. So now I got total assets of $8,095,238, and I've got it split up into the debt and the equity. All right, and the problem had also told me that the annual interest charges are $561,000. The interest expense is $561,000. By the way, you can calculate the average interest rate. If they pay $561,000 on $3 million there, then the average interest rate's about 17%. That's pretty high. All right, but even so, now if the changes are made, we want to know what will be the company's return on equity. What's the ROE is what we're asked to solve for. And ROE would be net income divided by equity. Well, I don't have net income up here, but I do have some other pieces. I can actually go over here and start with EBIT minus interest expense would give me taxable income minus taxes at 35% will give me net income. Alright, so I'm told that the EBIT is $1,258,000, and I'm told that the interest expense is $561,000. That'll give me taxable income $697,000. 35% of that goes as taxes, so the other 65% must be the net income. The ROE would be the net income divided by the shareholders' equity. All right, and now they go from 5% to 9.33%.